He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much, and he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. Hey guys, welcome to another Jim's Gem. Today, our topic is faithfulness. And this quote is actually from the Apostle Luke, from the book of Luke, 16:10 in the King James Version. So for those who don't know, the Apostle Luke was one of the original 12 apostles. And the big idea here with this is that if you don't keep your word in the little things, you're not going to keep your word in the big things. People who cheat themselves or others in the little things will cheat on the big things. And a lot of people get all puffed up in the heat of the moment, and they say they'll do something, but they never do it, or they think it doesn't really matter that they said something, a little white lie, or they said, hey, I'm going to do that, when they're in the comfort of their living room, and then when it comes time to do it, crunch time, they don't actually do it. I'm going to share two quick stories with you where I learned this lesson in relationships, and one where I'm learning it again in making commitment. The first one is in our house, known as the sandwich incident. The sandwich incident happened before I married my lovely wife. We were cohabitating, as they say, which was quite risque 30 years ago. Not really, but anyway, she would very lovingly make me a sandwich in the morning, and I would take it with me in this little cooler when I was in the mortgage business, because I didn't like to take time to eat lunch, because I figured I could make a lot more calls. When people were eating lunch, I could catch them. So one day she asked me, hey, did you eat your sandwich? And I knew I had not, and I told her I did. And she said, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I'm sure. And then she held up the little cooler and said, you didn't eat your sandwich. Why did you lie to me? And I'm thinking to myself, why are you making such a big deal about this? And I realized later, she was pretty upset. I realized later, though, that based on her experience with past relationships, if someone was going to lie about little things, they were probably lying about big things. So I learned to always tell the truth with her and with others too. So the other one is Tough Ruck 2021, which is coming up in a couple of months, less than 2 months, actually. And that is where I've made the commitment that I'm going to do the Boston Marathon wearing a 35-pound rucksack on my back. And I've been training for it. Haven't made a big deal about it, but I've been training for it with actually a 45 to 55-pound ruck every time I do it, and it sucks. And I have thought every time I've been doing it that I was going to quit. I don't want to do this. This is really hard. But again, I made the commitment to doing it, so I'm going to do it. But that temptation to quit is always there, especially when nobody's looking. So, how does this apply to us? How does this apply to everything from life to even creating a book or something? Well, if you do keep your word on the little things, it builds the habit for success in the big thing. And there's another quote that I love, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's basically, judge a man not by what he does, but by that which you see him doing when nobody is looking. Because a lot of people do what they're supposed to do when everybody's looking, but when nobody's looking, nobody's paying attention, then that's when things fall apart. So how do we put this into action? If you say you're going to do something, do it. And this applies to everything from marriage vows to taking out the trash. If you say you're going to do it, do it. If you say you're going to help somebody, help them. Keep your word to yourself as much as to others, because that builds the habit of following through. So no matter what it is, follow through. Build that little muscle so that you'll be able to flex big weights when it really, really counts. So I'm Jim Edwards. Hope you enjoyed this Jim's Gem. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.